I tested all of the best USB-C monitor of 2026, and in this video, I'm going to rank them in a tier list based on their value for money, overall performance, and more. Links to all of the products will be in the description below.
Dell U4025QW. This massive 40-inch curved beast feels like having two monitors fused into one, and that 120Hz refresh rate makes every scroll and window movement feel buttery smooth. I love how the IPS black panel gives me those deep, punchy contrasts that are usually missing on IPS screens, though you'll definitely need a high-end rig to push all those pixels. It's the ultimate command center for video editors and productivity junkies who need massive space and 140 watts of power delivery, so I am putting this firmly in God tier.
Asus ProArt Display PA27JCV. I honestly can't get over how crisp this 5K panel is for the price, especially since it hits that retina level of detail that makes text look like it's printed on the glass. The built-in KVM switch and 96-watt power delivery make it a dream for switching between my MacBook and PC. But keep in mind the 60Hz limit means it's definitely not for fast-paced gaming. If you're a photographer or designer who wants Apple-level clarity without the Apple-level price tag, this is a winner, and I'm ranking it as God tier. LG 32U990A-S. Seeing a 6K resolution on a 32-inch screen is absolutely mind-blowing, and the Thunderbolt 5 support makes it incredibly future-proof for the latest high-end laptops. The color accuracy is basically perfect right out of the box, covering 100% of Adobe RGB, even if the menu system is a bit of a headache to navigate sometimes. This is for the elite pros who demand the absolute maximum pixel density available today, which is why I'm placing it in God tier. Apple Studio Display. The build quality is unmatched, and those speakers sound better than most dedicated desktop setups. Plus, the 5K integration with macOS is just seamless. However, I'm still frustrated that it's stuck at 60 Hz and lacks any form of HDR in 2026, especially considering how much extra you have to pay for a height-adjustable stand. It's still the best "it just works" option for Mac purists who value aesthetics and that 12-megapixel webcam, but because of the dated tech specs, I'm putting it in great tier.
Asus ROG Strix XG27UC SJC. It's wild to see a 5K monitor that can actually hit 180 Hz or even switch to a 330 Hz QHD mode for competitive gaming, giving you insane versatility. The image is incredibly sharp for a gaming display, but the contrast and color accuracy are just okay compared to the ProArt or Dell models, and the USB-C power is a measly 15 watts. It's a niche pick for the gamer who wants maximum clarity but doesn't mind the average professional color performance, so I'm slotting this into average tier.
ViewSonic VP2788-5K. This panel is an absolute dream for anyone deep in the Apple ecosystem who doesn't want to pay the Apple tax, giving you that crisp 218 ppi density that makes macOS look native. I love that they included dual Thunderbolt 4 ports with daisy chaining and a dedicated color temperature light for print matching, though the 75 Hz mode is a bit of a marketing gimmick that can cause stuttering. Because it delivers professional-grade color accuracy and 100-watt power delivery at a much better value than the competition, I'm comfortably putting this in the great tier.
LG 34WK95U. I really wanted to love this ultra-wide because the 5120 by 2160 resolution gives you so much timeline space for video editing, but the flat panel on a screen this wide feels a bit awkward at the edges. While the Nano IPS tech and DCI-P3 coverage are solid, the HDR 600 performance is honestly disappointing due to the lack of local dimming zones, and the ergonomics of the stand are pretty basic. It's a decent workspace expander, but since it's starting to show its age and lacks the polish of newer 5K options, I'm ranking it in the average tier.
Samsung ViewFinity S9. This is basically a tech-heavy alternative to the Studio Display, and honestly, the matte finish and built-in smart TV apps make it a way more versatile tool for a home office. You're getting a gorgeous 5K image with 99% DCI-P3 coverage and a detachable 4K webcam, though the build quality feels a bit more plasticky than I'd like for this price point. It's a fantastic all-in-one solution for designers who want extra features like AirPlay and height adjustment included in the box, so I'm placing it firmly in the great tier.
LG 27MD5KL-B. This has been the old reliable for Mac users for years, and for good reason. The integration is so seamless that you control brightness and volume directly from your Mac keyboard just like a built-in display.
The 500 nits of brightness and P3 wide color gamut still look incredible for photo work, but the chunky plastic bezels and the lack of a power button are definitely starting to feel dated. Even with the older design, the panel quality and Thunderbolt stability are still top-notch for creators, so I'm keeping it in the great tier. Apple Pro Display XDR. Looking at this screen is honestly a religious experience for high-end colorists, because the 1600 nits of peak brightness and the insane contrast ratio make HDR content look unlike anything else. It's built like a tank and uses a massive array of 576 local dimming zones to keep blacks deep and highlights popping, though it's clearly overkill for anyone who isn't doing professional reference-level work. Because it remains the absolute gold standard for brightness, color precision, and industrial design, I have no choice but to rank this in the God tier. This BenQ MOBIUZ EX321UX is a 32-inch 4K mini LED powerhouse that delivers some of the punchiest HDR highlights I've ever seen, hitting nearly 1,000 nits of peak brightness. It's a dream for creative professionals who need that 99% Adobe RGB and DCI P3 color accuracy, though the lack of built-in speakers is a weird omission at this price point. I'm absolutely loving the dual-purpose nature of this panel for both high-end editing and immersive gaming, so I'm putting this firmly in the great tier.
Samsung M90 SF. I am obsessed with this 32-inch QD OLED because it basically doubles as a smart TV, complete with its own streaming apps and a super slick remote. While the text clarity is excellent for productivity, the real star is that infinite contrast ratio that makes movies and games look unbelievably deep and vibrant. It's the ultimate choice for anyone who wants one screen to rule their entire dorm or small office, and I'm definitely ranking this as great tier.
LG 45GX950A-B. This 45-inch monster is a total flex, offering a unique dual mode that lets me swap between a sharp 5K 2K resolution for work and a blistering 330Hz at 1080p for hardcore gaming. The massive 800R curve is incredibly immersive for flight sims and racing, though the aggressive wraparound might feel a bit too intense for casual spreadsheets. Because it's essentially two high-end monitors in one beautiful WOLED chassis, I'm giving it a great tier rating.
Philips 499P9H. This is a massive 49-inch super ultra-wide that effectively replaces two 27-inch monitors, making it a productivity king for multitaskers who need to see everything at once. However, it's showing its age, with a low 60 to 70 Hz refresh rate and a VA panel that just can't compete with the newer OLED or mini LED tech in terms of speed or contrast. It's a solid workhorse for the office, but it feels a bit dated for modern gaming or media, so I'm sliding this into the average tier.
Dell S2725QC. For a 27-inch 4K monitor, this is surprisingly versatile, especially with that 120 Hz refresh rate that makes every scroll and animation feel buttery smooth. I really appreciate the simple USB-C connectivity with 65-watt power delivery, though the HDR performance is pretty much non-existent, since it lacks the brightness to make highlights actually pop. It's the perfect, reliable daily driver for students or office workers on a budget, and for that reason, I'm placing it in the good tier.
Dell U2723QE. This 27-inch 4K powerhouse is an absolute productivity beast thanks to its IPS black panel that actually delivers the deep blacks regular IPS screens usually miss. I love that it packs 90W power delivery and a built-in KVM switch to clean up your desk, though I'm a bit annoyed by the lackluster reflection handling if you have a bright window behind you. It's clearly built for office pros and creators who need elite color accuracy without the 5K price tag, so I'm putting this in the great tier.
Asus ProArt Display PA329CV. I'm really impressed by how much screen real estate you get here with this 32-inch 4K panel, especially since it comes factory calibrated for serious color work right out of the box. While the 90-watt USB-C charging is a lifesaver for laptop users, the bulky design and basic 60 Hz refresh rate feel a bit dated if you're trying to do anything beyond static design. It's a solid, reliable choice for designers on a budget who need size over speed, which is why I've decided it belongs in the good tier.
BenQ PD2730US. This monitor is honestly breathtaking because it manages to hit that 5K Retina sweet spot with 218 ppi, making everything look sharp as a razor. I'm obsessed with the Thunderbolt 4 daisy chaining and the wireless hotkey puck that lets me swap settings on the fly, even if the HDR performance is just okay.
If you were a Mac user or a high-end visual artist who refuses to compromise on pixel density, this is the one, and I am easily ranking it in the God tier. Dell UltraSharp U4924DW. It is absolutely wild to sit in front of this 49-inch super ultra-wide. It's basically two 27-inch monitors fused together without that annoying gap in the middle. The IPS black tech really helps the contrast, but I have to admit the 60 Hz limit and lack of adaptive sync make it a tough sell for anything other than heavy spreadsheet work or multitasking. For the corporate power user who needs maximum windows open at once, this is a dream setup, so I'm placing it firmly in the great tier. Thanks for watching. I hope this video helped you pick the best USB-C monitor for you. If you have any questions, drop a comment below. Links to all of these products mentioned in this video will be in the description.